relatively straightforward voting list, a lot of departmental bills. I don't think there's a lot of controversial. Before we, I did want to make the point, you know how I always yap about how we, last 2 years, have had more bills than every other committee. I just do want to say that the last week, as we approach that filing deadline for bills on Monday, we've jumped up. I'm just going to give you the news. We're up to about 200 bills are now in this committee. And so I don't know if that's, I don't want to characterize that good or bad. It's just a number. So, okay, that said, let's try to get some bills out to the floor. And we're going to start with the list on Senate Bill 21. Senator Simon Ayer. April, why don't you refresh everybody's memory about what Senate Bill 21 does?
Senate Bill 21, Natural Resources, State Parks, Maryland Golden Age Pass. This bill codifies existing policies regarding the Maryland Golden Age Pass. The bill establishes that a person age 62 or older who possesses a Maryland Golden Age Pass is issued by the Maryland Park Service is entitled to free day use entry.
Jason's having a little trouble hearing. You can't hear her? Yeah. You're good? Okay, I'm sorry.
Is entitled to free day use entry at any state park that charges service fees and may launch a boat at any state park without paying a boat launch fee. The holder of a Maryland Golden Age Pass may camp overnight at any state park at 1/2 the established fee, Sunday through Thursday, excluding holidays.
This is just codifying essentially current practice for the most part, but any questions for April on this Simon Ayer bill? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion?
Favorable.
There are no amendments, right? It's clean. Okay, Vice Chair moves favorable. Is there a second? Senator Harris. All in favor, Senate Bill 21, raise your hand. All opposed, that motion carries unanimously. Next up, Devin, Senate Bill 32.
Senate Bill 32, State Athletic Commission, blood testing of contestants timing. Excuse me. This departmental bill extends the period of time from 30 to 90 days before which an applicant for a license to participate as a contestant in a boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, or mixed martial arts contest must be tested for specified diseases. A contestant must present documentary evidence to the State Athletic Commission of negative test results for the human immunodeficiency virus, the antigen of the virus hepatitis B, and antibodies to the virus hepatitis C, conducted within the 90-day period, prior to a license application or when requested by the State Athletic Commission participation in a contest. There are no amendments and there is no cost to the bill.
Okay, yes, Senator Carrozza, questions for Devin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just looking at the fiscal note. I just wanted to better understand where it says the Department of Labor has determined that this bill has a meaningful impact on small businesses.
So the department thinks that this impact of extending from 30 to 90 days will benefit the small businesses who operate mixed martial arts, kickboxing, that sort of thing. It will be a benefit to them because what has happened in practice has been, because of the 30-day limitation, each of those events, those sports, haven't been able to keep and have a lot of participants because of that 30-day requirement. By extending it to 90 days, in which the testimony was given to the committee where DC does it in 180 days, I think Virginia, Pennsylvania do it in 120 days. That allows more time for them to be able to get their fighters in, to get the kickboxers in, and it's going to positively benefit small businesses as a result of it.
Thank you.
Okay, additional questions for Devin. We've got Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Devin, I realize this isn't the bill. I realize the bill changes from 30 to 90, and so this may be outside the scope of even the knowledge or expertise. I'm curious, there are a lot of people who live with HIV. So testing and having antibodies for HIV, presumably this would disqualify someone from competing in athletic events?
That's, from my understanding, that's correct. If they have a positive test.
Right, but there are all sorts of drugs now that allow people to live and thrive with the antibody.
Okay.
Would you mind, colleagues, do you mind if we hold the bill? I'd like to look into this and just see if this is, I'm sure it's fine. It just seems a little discriminatory.
Okay, we have a, at this part of the session, we've a lot of latitude.
Senator Watson, are you, am I overdoing it?
I'll just put it out there here. Well, why don't we have a little discussion? Senator Watson, you want to respond to the issue that's been raised by the Vice Chair?
I mean, I don't think it should be called discriminatory, but whether or not somebody has medication to help them live with a specific disease doesn't mean it's not communicable. And then that would cause somebody else to now have to have medication to live with the disease. So I don't see it as being discriminatory. I just look at it a little differently.
Okay, well, here, let me just make a point I was going to make was, at this stage of session, if any member of the committee at these voting sessions wants to put a hold on a bill for one voting session, I'm basically going to be an automatic yes. Until we get later in session, then it's not going to be the case. So if you want to reiterate your request for a hold, as I say, we're not going to, there's no, it's going to be essentially automatic, but for one session. So do you want to re-request your hold, or what do you want to do?
I kind of don't have the bandwidth to pursue it, but I kind of think it's problematic, and I realize it's current law. So why don't I let it go? And I have expressed my concern publicly, and if anybody's watching or caring, maybe they can think about it or circle back to my office.
Okay.
Let's vote the bill.
Okay,
Thank you,
is there a
Mr. Chair.
motion on the bill? Senator Watson, okay, favorable from Senator Harris, second from, where did I hear? Senator Brooks. Okay, all in favor, Senate Bill 32, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Let's go to Senate Bill 65 from Senator Kate. This is an emergency piece of legislation, and it's a bill that we have passed previously. And with that, we're going to go to Stacy. Again, Senate Bill 65.
Senate Bill 65, Election Law, Campaign Finance, Exploratory Committees. This emergency bill establishes exploratory committees in state campaign finance law. It defines them, makes them subject to provisions that apply to political committees, but establishing that a donation to an exploratory committee is not subject to any limits, and establishes additional requirements and limitations. There are no amendments, and there was no opposition. The Senate passed this bill last year, 46-0.
It was a 46-0 vote last year on the Senate floor, but that every session is different. So questions for Stacy about this piece of legislation, Senate Bill 65? Okay, is there a motion? The sponsor moves favorable, second from Senator Harris. All in favor, Senate Bill 65, an emergency bill, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Next up, Stacy, Senate Bill 70.
Senate Bill 70, Adult Education, High School Diploma Pathways, GED Option Pilot Program, and MD Diploma Works Pathway. This departmental bill establishes a 2-year GED Option Pilot Program to expand the existing GED Option Pilot Program as specified, and to the Maryland Diploma Works Pathway within the Maryland Department of Labor to recognize and certify high school diploma achievement through alternate means. There is one amendment in your packet, begins on page 3 and the reprint on page 4. This is offered by the chair on behalf of the Department of Labor, and this amendment strikes all the provisions relating to the GED Option Pilot Program and retains the Maryland Diploma Works Pathway.
Questions on the bill or this amendment that Stacy just described for a little more information? And Senator Watson, I do recall, you had some questions about the bill even at the hearing, so you want to direct Stacy maybe some questions.
I'm just trying to understand what the amendment does. The GED Option Pilot Program versus the Maryland Diploma Works Pathway.
So the GED Option Pilot Program is an existing, there's the GED Option Program is an existing program that was limited to English language learners, and it would allow certain students who are basically at risk for not graduating high school due to various circumstances to pursue getting a high school diploma in an alternate way. Apparently there was discussions between the Department of Labor and the Maryland State Department of Education saying they needed a lot more discussion to get to where they needed to be in that circumstance. So they decided to take out this requirement for the GED Option Pilot Program, but it leaves this MD Diploma Works Pathway. This is a 4th alternate pathway for adults who do not have a high school diploma to earn a high school diploma through a combination of like worked and competency type requirements and formal assessments.
additional questions for Stacy on the bill or the amendment? We'll take a motion, then let's do a roll call on this one. Okay, yes, Senator Washington, yes.
Move favorable.
Washington moves favorable. Is there a second? Senator Brooks. Okay, we have a motion and a second favorable. Let's just take a roll call.
Sir, favorable with amendments?
Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, let's take who wants to move? We'll take that motion to move the amendment. The second, so the amendment is on the table. All in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Now we have the piece of legislation, Senate Bill 70, as amended before us. Now is there a motion? Senator Washington, would you like to renew? And Senator Brooks, second. Okay, now we have the bill as amended before us, and we will take a roll call.
All right, Senator Kagan?
Aye.
Senator Kagan, yes. Senator Hester? Senator Hester, yes. Senator Gallion? Senator Gallion, yes. Senator Watson? Senator Watson, yes. Senator Attar? Senator Attar, yes. Senator Harris? Senator Harris, yes. Senator Brooks? Senator Brooks, yes. Senator Carozza?
Yes.
Senator Carozza, yes. Senator Washington?
Yes.
Senator Washington, yes. And Senator Feldman?
Yes, bill carries unanimously. Okay, let's go to Senate Bill 128. Devin?
Senate Bill 128, Maryland Military Department, Supervision of State Active Duty Personnel. This departmental bill establishes that during state active duty, all members of the military department are under the operational command and control of the Adjutant General or any officer of the National Guard designated by the Adjutant General, whether the Adjutant General or designee is 1, in state active duty, or 2, in a federal status in which the governor is the commander-in-chief. And this bill would take effect July 1, 2026. There are no amendments.
Okay, questions for Devin about this one? Okay, do one of our veterans want to move? Okay, we've got Senator Brooks, Senator Harris. So, yeah, question from Senator Hester on this piece of legislation.
Devin, could you just remind me of a circumstance when they might need this? And I guess what I'm wondering is, whether there's any point in making this an emergency bill.
So the department didn't indicate that they needed it for an emergency bill, but the recent snowstorm was one of the events that they cited. Had they been called into emergent status, their practice is to be under the command and control of the Adjutant General. But there are law situations where the Adjutant General might be limited in his or her ability to direct service members on state active duty when they're in that federal status. And this just clarifies that when they're in that federal status and the governor is the commander-in-chief, therefore the Adjutant General is their boss.
Just to clarify, Senator Hester, would there be value to just making this an emergency bill? I mean, it's. I don't certainly think that either way is a problem. Okay, what's the will of the body here? Anybody want to offer an amendment to make an emergency bill? Senator Harris?
Yeah, so, and I blame it all on me. We should have submitted an amendment to make this an emergency bill because we did talk about this. So blame that on me, but we do want to make this an emergency bill, so.
Okay, we can do this verbally. We got a motion from Senator Harris to make it emergency bill. Is there a second?
Second.
From Senator Hester. All in favor of an amendment to make it an emergency piece of legislation, raise your hand. All opposed, that motion carries unanimously. We now have Senate Bill 128 as amended before us. And
Move the bill as amended.
We got a motion favorable as amended from Senator Harris, second from Senator Hester. All in favor, Senate Bill 128 as amended, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimously. Let's go to Senate Bill 133. Devin?
Senate Bill 133, Business Occupations and Professions, State Boards and Commissions, Sunset Extensions. This departmental bill extends the termination date for several occupation and professional licensing boards and commissions within the Maryland Department of Labor through July 1, 2032. Specifically, the extension applies to the following entities: the State Board of Barbers, the State Board of Cosmetologists, the State Board for Professional Land Surveyors, the State Commission of Real Estate Appraisers, Appraisal Management Companies, and Home Inspectors, and the State Board of Individual Tax Preparers. By July 1, 2030, the Department of Labor must submit a report to the Joint Audit and Evaluation Committee with information regarding the activities of the boards and commissions. This bill would take effect June 1, 2026. There are no amendments.
Okay, questions for Devin? Motions? Vice Chair moves favorable. Second, Senator Brooks. All in favor, Senate Bill 133, clean. No amendments, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Senate Bill 133 passes unanimously. Going to go to Senate Bill 161, April, from Senator Simonaire.
Senate Bill 161, Natural Resources, State Park Entry Fee Exemptions. This bill expands a statutory exemption from state park entry fees applicable to veterans by making the exemption also applicable to former Maryland National Guard members discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. The bill also clarifies the acceptable forms of identification that may be presented by a veteran to gain entry to state parks without a fee. The bill is consistent with current practice. There are no amendments. However, I do have a note that Senator Hester would like to be added as a co-sponsor.
Okay, anybody else want to be on the bill as a co-sponsor? You already? Who's on there already? Just read the names.
161 currently is just Senator Simonaire.
Okay, so Simonaire is the only, the veterans. Okay, I'm going to go. I like this one. Okay, who wants to be on here? We got Harris, Brooks, Carrozza, Feldman, Hester, Attar. Anybody else want to be on here? Okay. All in favor of the sponsor amendment? Well, is there a motion for this new sponsor amendment?
Let me just double check. We have Hester, Harris, Brooks, Carrozza, Feldman, Attar. Did I miss anybody?
No, I think we got it. Okay, anybody want to move the sponsor amendment? Senator Harris moves it. Brooks second. All in favor of the new sponsor amendment, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay, now we have the bill 161 as amended in front of us. Okay, Senator Harris moves favorable on the bill as amended. Let's mix it up. Senator Washington is the second on this one. Okay, all in favor, Senate Bill 161 as amended, raise your hand. All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Next up, back to you, April, on Senate Bill 164.
Senate Bill 164, Natural Resources, Pamela J. Kelly, Tremendous Maryland Program alterations. This is a departmental bill from the Department of Natural Resources. It alters the stated purpose of the Pamela J. Kelly Tremendous Maryland Program by 1, focusing the program's purpose on the advancement of forest health and resilience, and 2, expanding the program's scope to include promotion and maintenance of native trees and shrubs, in addition to the already authorized planting of native trees and shrubs. There is an amendment in your bill packet. So this starts on page 9, reprint starts on page 10. This is an amendment that was discussed briefly at the bill hearing where the department noted that they had been working with the Sierra Club on refining the language a little bit. So the revised language would have the bill say that the program's purpose is to, quote, promote community participation in the planting and stewardship of native trees and shrubs through community forestry activities on public lands, community open spaces, school grounds, and rights of way. I guess there had been some concern that the previous reference to maintenance could somehow be considered as allowing clearing of trees with those funds.
Any questions for April about that amendment? Yes, Senator Carrozza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As I understand it, this was an amendment supported by the Maryland Forest Association.
This was done with the Sierra Club. I don't think the Forest Association weighed in one way or another on this bill. This is a program that basically provides funding to schools, community groups, communities that want to do tree planting projects. That's the current program. What this bill is intended to do, both as introduced and as amended, would be to expand the authorized use of those funds to include maintenance of the already planted trees, so
Okay.
that they could provide funding for the continued maintenance.
Senator, I'm sorry, Senator Gallion?
Sure, so basically, they're just trying to sub out take out maintaining and sub that for stewardship?
Planting, yes, planting and stewardship. And then adding that language about community forestry activities, which they think sort of covers that intended
So does.
scope.
So does stewardship, does maintaining the trees, not meaning tearing them out, but actually maintaining them, is that part of the definition of stewardship?
As the department is interpreting this language that they are proposing, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Additional questions? Okay. Does anybody want to move an amendment? Is there a motion? Senator Harris wants to move amendment. Senator Washington, second. Any discussion on the amendment? Further discussion? All in favor of the amendment, raise your hand. Okay, all opposed? Okay, Senator Gallion is in the dissent, so passes 9-1, the amendment. Now we've got the bill as amended in front of us. Anybody want to move the bill as amended? Okay, Senator Brooks moves favorable. Senator Washington, second. We've got 164 as amended in front of us. All in favor of the bill as amended, raise your hand. All opposed? Okay, now that bill passed unanimously. Next up, 167. April, Senate Bill 167. This is, Simon Ayer's not even here, but he's getting a lot of wins.
Senate Bill 167, Department of Natural Resources, licenses, permits, registrations, and public profiles, notation of veteran status. This bill authorizes the Department of Natural Resources to establish a process to include a voluntary notation indicating veteran status on a license, permit, registration, or public profile. There are no amendments, although, again, Senator Hester has requested to be added as co-sponsor.
Okay, anybody else other than Senator Hester want to be on this piece of legislation? Now's the time. Okay, April, we've got Senator Harris. Anybody else? Senator Brooks? Okay. Got a motion from Vice Chair Kagan to move the sponsor amendment, and all in favor of the sponsor amendment, raise your hand. All opposed? Amendment carries. Got Senate Bill 167 as amended with that sponsor amendment on the table. Is there a motion?
Second.
Okay, we got the Senator Harris, motion favorable. Senator Brooks, second. All in favor of Senate Bill 167 as amended, raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Devin, Senate Bill 192.
Senate Bill 192, Military Family Inclusion Act. This departmental bill alters the membership of the Maryland Commission on Caregiving, the Board of Trustees of the Maryland Veterans Trust, the Maryland Veterans Commission, and the Maryland Youth Advisory Council. The bill also specifies how representative seats and organizations may be removed from the Maryland Veterans Commission. There are no amendments.
Okay, questions for Devin on Senate Bill 192? Okay, any motions? No amendments. Any motions from anybody? Who'd I hear? Senator Harris moves the bill clean. Second, Senator Gallion. All in favor, Senate Bill 192 clean. Raise your hand. All opposed. 192 carries unanimously. Next up, Senate Bill 207. Stacy.
Senate Bill 207, Higher Education Guaranteed Access Grant Program Applicability. This departmental bill delays a transfer of the Guaranteed Access Grant Award notification and issuance responsibility from the Maryland Higher Education Commission Office of Student Financial Assistance to institutions of higher education until the 2029-2030 financial aid award year. This bill makes other technical changes to clarify references to institutions of higher education. There were no amendments and no opposition.
Okay, any motions on this no amendments, no opposition bill? Okay, Senator Brooks favorable, Senator Harris second. Senate Bill 207 clean. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimously, which brings us to our 12th and final bill of the day and for the week, Senate Bill 228, April.
Senate Bill 228, Maryland Environmental Service Authorizations and Requirements Alterations. This departmental bill from the Maryland Environmental Service expands the duties that the treasurer of MES is authorized to delegate with the approval of its board of directors to the deputy treasurer, and increases the maximum dollar value threshold for small procurements by MES from $25,000 to $50,000. The bill also updates the public notice requirements for rate changes in service districts. There are no amendments.
Okay, no amendments. Senate Bill 228. Any questions? We got a favorable from the vice chair. Any second from Senator Harris? Discussion? Okay, all in favor of Senate Bill 228, raise your hand. All opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sending 12 bills to the floor. And yes, Senator Crow's want to make an introduction.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted the members, wanted to greet our pages who have joined us for the voting session. We have 2 Senate pages, Amaru Aleem Carter from Chrisfield High School, and he's joined by another Senate page, Matthew Glazer from Baltimore County, attending Gerstel Academy in Carroll County. And we also have from Stephen Decatur High School, where I am an alum, we have Trey Rill, who is here, and he served as a house page. So I was glad they could join us and see us in action. So
Okay, welcome. Guys.
welcome.
Well, you saw a very efficient voting session. We knocked out 12 bills in about 38 seconds. It's not going to be like that the rest. Okay, guys, that completes our work for the week, and have a great weekend. And any other, Lemuria, announcements? The protocol fees, if you haven't, we're going to have to start sanctioning you in some way, shape, or form if you don't get the protocol fee to Lemuria. We still have one or two people here outstanding. I'm just going to, okay, no stay. We are hereby adjourned.